Okay, let's see. It's Tuesday. About ready to do some NES gaming. I've switched to emulators since the last stream. I was just investigating a bunch of stuff, um, trying things out. I was testing some new NES work for an acquaintance in the game dev space, and had to update my emulators. I guess the ones I had were a bit aged, did not support everything, so I guess this one, which is called Messin, is pretty complete and accurate in its emulation, and we got it set up. There's a bunch of like tweaky features with emulators as well that I kind of get into, especially because I built this whole overlay to try and simulate the CRT experience here. I will gonna double check that my input is hooked up here properly. So I'm just gonna remap everything real quick. Yeah, okay. There we go. I have hooked up actual NES controller, which I'm pretty excited about. Went and grabbed the old gear from out of storage and got an adapter. So I don't remember if I had this already hooked up the last time I played, but here we are. Game feel is much better on an authentic controller than it is on a outdated Logitech controller. There's a ton of subtleties in the way that things handle that I just never noticed until I was trying to actually do well at one of these games, when you're just playing around. I mean, I'm still probably a forever casual, as you can see. I'm not concerned about the greatest times or speeds, but nevertheless, when you do something over and over and you're trying to figure it out, you start to notice the limitations of a controller or whatever peripherals are involved in doing that thing. And if you haven't watched me before, I'm just warming up every stream with a run of Super Mario Brothers to see if I can complete a run without relying on save states, because that is something I have never done. I did get one completion when I was just kind of training up World 8, and I have a feeling if I get back to World 8 in a regular run, I will probably fail and have to train up on that a little more. And, but that's alright. If you haven't seen this particular look for Super Mario Brothers before, that's because this is a ROM-hacked graphical update called Dream Mario Brothers. And it just kind of updates the look of things a bit. Some of it is using sprites from later ports of the game. Some of it is just people taking artistic license and changing the colors around. It's just fun. I discovered a website with all these ROM hacks on it and wanted to try them out, and this one just stood out as a really nice version. There's only one thing I don't like about it, which is that this font, this text on the in-between screen that tells you what level you're going into, is not very readable on that background color. That's about it. Everything else stands out really well. There's been no changes to the actual game code, so it plays exactly the same as far as I know. Although there's plenty of surprises, because I never completed runs of this game when I was a kid, so there are still things I'm figuring out and discovering. I also got the old top-loader Nintendo out of storage and tried to fire that up. I was thinking about getting a legit Nintendo, you know, hooked up with the capture device and everything, and just stream directly from the device. But the Nintendo has suffered neglect. It is not in operating condition right now. So I ordered some screwdrivers and bits to open up the Nintendo and look at it. Hopefully get that cleaned up and in working order. I don't know if there's anything wrong with it or if it's just dirty and corroded on the connectors or what. But I can only occasionally get a signal out of it that looks like it has any kind of recognizable Nintendo rendering. Most of the time it was just various different patterns of static that I got. I did see some tiles and stuff, but it was all kind of corrupted looking, so I don't know if that had to do with multiple things or just... Ooh! A vine. I think I will climb it. And we will get us some coins. I like coins. Coins are my favorite part of this whole game. I have discovered, at least at this stage of my life. I just appreciate the game feel of the coins. The sound, the little palette animation, and everything. And coin boxes. That's my favorite. Woo! I also really enjoy not losing fireballs. I enjoy staying big and keeping the fire flower power. Yeah. So one thing I don't know when I was looking at capture cards is that there are kind of two different classes of hardware, and one of them is basically watching without sound while I work. Oh, hey! Hey, the Retro Shark. Good to see you, even though you can't hear me. So, yeah, capture cards. There's the, like, modern variety of capture cards, the Elgato HDMI connectivity pieces and similar things. My particular Nintendo, which is the late revised model, uses a downgraded connector type. It's an RF connector with just your, you know, whatever standard coaxial cable instead of the component video cable. I believe that the Famicom and its revisions may have had component video on both of their models or something like that, but the top loader American version did not. It was, I believe, upgraded in a lot of other ways. So it's a, you know, it's a nice, reliable machine. From what I've read. Oop. Time to get to the exit here. Time's running out. But they downgraded the video. I think that's the only gripe with it. Some people have modded their NES to use a component video output, and that gives them a different selection of cards to use if they want to video capture their NES sessions for for whatever purposes. I was like mid-slide or whatever after grabbing that mushroom. I find the slide on landing to be the most, as a casual player, the most tricky thing to get used to in terms of the physics of Mario here. Boop. Extra life. Yeah, so I threw 2 lives away needlessly here, but that's okay. It's Take It Easy Tuesday. Just gonna stay chill. It's fine. Some fireworks. That's fine. We like fireworks. So yeah, capture cards. There is, for everything, RF and coaxial, there are no, like, devices marketed as like streaming capture cards or whatever that take coaxial, at least that I could find and that were in stock and current and well supported and whatever. All of the products which had that connector type for input I will type to you. Since you don't have audio on. Yeah, I'll just pause the game so I can type this. It's a ROM hack with updated graphics. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so all of the products with an RF cable for an input are marketed as TV tuners, and their selling points are like whether or not they come with a remote control, and whether or not they can support tuning into multiple channels at the same time, like for reading actual antenna signals and whatever, and just watching TV on your computer. I got time. I got time. Oh no! That's alright. We'll get big. We'll keep going. That ain't the last fire flower. We'll get him. Man, I love coin boxes. If I ever make a platformer, I'm for serious putting coin boxes in it. So yeah, TV tuner cards. So like figuring out the range of features for TV tuner cards so that I could plug into that exact connector type is a strange thing. And there are other devices that do things other than capture, which may take that type of connector for general you know, like general purpose TV signal updating doublers and different ways of trying to get your old RF signal up to component or RGB or HDMI. But I have a high appreciation for having a solution in a single device if I can find it. And the truth is, this is not a huge signal. I think the TV tuner cards are more or less a proven technology. They've been around a long time. There are no comments on the latency of TV tuner cards. There it goes, falling down that hole. I can never remember on that exact spot to oops. Okay, 3 lives left. To just run and jump on that spot. Okay, 2 lives left. 2 lives left. This is not a spot that I need to be dying in. Okay, good enough, good enough. So yeah, TV tuner cards, I was shopping for, I think I found one that would be fine. It would probably not introduce a lot of latency. I can get it in a PCIe, internal card format, which would make sure that data transfer rates are not an issue, and so on. Whoop. Oops. It's fine. It's fine. That's not fine. I like coins. We will stop and get the coins. Why not? Why not collect coins? If there are coins to collect. Woo! Good enough. Doesn't matter if I'm small. Hitting the end button is what it's all about. Thank you, Mario, but Bowser took Peach away again. That was World 3. On to World 4. Boop. Woo! Woo! I love that they introduce that cloud guy that drops the spiky dudes on a level where you can pretty just run. There's not a lot of gaps. Just things to hop over. A lot of things to appreciate in this classic design. There's a reason this game is a classic. Game over. Okay. So that's game over. That's the warm-up for today. And I will type a message to the Retro Shark again, since he is not using audio. That's my warm-up. Now time for Legend of Zelda Deluxe. Okay, recent files. Legend of Zelda Deluxe. Alright. Okay, so last time I streamed, I got the blue armor, which in the original game was a blue ring. And I don't remember if it changed your outfit in the original in the same way that it does here. I thought it was like swords that changed the sprite color. But whatever. I think we were most of the way through dungeon number 3. I know I completed 2 of them. And I think I'll go ahead and refill again here. I know I got to the boss. I think I was just still playing around trying to figure out what the, you know, that I needed to use arrows, basically. Because who can remember these things when it's been years since I played? Who can remember? Is this the... No, that's not the right way. Gotta go down. One more. I already went through and got the bridge and found out some... Went around and, you know, just kind of revealed a bunch of the overworld map and found the location of a couple of dungeons that are accessible. I don't know why I'm stopping to kill all those dudes. Dang it. I hate giving up my laser sword. I feel like that's going to be a problem. Okay. These guys are super annoying. I don't remember the best way to handle them, if there is a best way. Dang it. I think if I change directions while they're moving, it feels like they're more likely to change directions. Ah. Dang it. Trying to getting them in the corners or as they come out from behind a block like that I can sort of hide behind seems to be the place that I feel the safest. I'm sure there is a more straightforward way to deal with these guys, but I can't figure out, can I hit him more than once? Can I not? I don't know. Aha! Bombs are good. I'm already full on bombs though. Come on, come on. Yeah, you know you want this. Through the block. Chop them through the block. That's... Dang it. What the? I couldn't use my sword. What happens there? Okay, now that I have 3/4 of a heart, it's time to just smash this guy with. Ouch! 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 I love that game over is not actually game over in this game, though. You can just keep going. Alright, I'm gonna go back and get some hearts, though. Try to make it through this dungeon with all the hearts. Why do I not have arrows? Is it like spend your coins or what? I don't even know. I don't know how to play this game. That's okay though. Because it's Take It Easy Tuesday. I would just want to take it easy. Might as well kill all the dudes. There we go. Just wanted to get that heart. I was very kind of that first enemy to provide it to me. Nope, go in. Alright, so far so good. What? Ah! Okay. Maybe I can still make input errors even with a original controller. Ah, I want my laser sword so bad. Come over here where I can get you. Is this like a hack? I feel like you can't chop them in the face normally. Is it only up? Only through the bottom can you chop them? Because I don't feel like you can chop them. Yeah. They have a shield. So this is it. This is the exploit. Come on. Come on. This is it. I think this is just a product of the kind of fake forced perspective, the pseudo 3D thing. It's just the sprite stands up taller so it can reach through. Come on, come on. Get out of here. Yes! One more. Come on. Come on. Yes! Woo! Alright. No messing around. I'm gonna make a save state. Because my pride is not actually worth that much as a gamer. I have other things I can be proud of in life without causing unnecessary suffering in The Legend of Zelda. Okay. What? Can I not shoot arrows? Oh. Do I just need a lot of rupees? I guess I ran out of arrows. I don't know if I feel like something's happening involving resource consumption. I just haven't noticed or learned exactly what it is. But I feel like it's rupees because I have 0 rupees right now. And I know I collected some rupees. So, time to grind rupees. Standing still as a way to use the shield and like not using an action is such a funny thing. I know it's basic and that obviously this mechanic has been around since the 80s, so shouldn't be a surprise or feel like a new thing, but it's just funny when you're not used to playing certain games, picking up on the little idiosyncrasies of how the mechanics work. All part of the fun, though. Oh, 7 rupees is not enough. I need all the rupees. Guess I'm just gonna go around... Oh yeah, blue spiders are best for rupees. Because they give out all those fibers. Or maybe spiders in general. Dang it. I guess I still have a little bit of that heart, so whatever. No, not enough for a laser sword. I guess you can't be below a half heart. Oh, maybe the sword could reach to 2 dudes at once. $5 rupees. Oh, no, no, no. I don't want to... Yeah. Okay, arrows definitely spend rupees. I feel like I should have known that somehow. Okay, pausing. Confirmed. Arrows spend rupees. What a weird mechanic. Like, I get that they wanted a way to limit it, and that adding collectible arrows probably needlessly complicated the game in terms of the number of resources that they had to manage and how much screen space the UI takes up. I'm not saying there was a better way, but it's weird. It's weird. I don't think it makes any sense. It's just a way to get done what they needed to get done. Yes. Oop. Okay, at least that mystery is solved now. I don't have to wonder where my rupees or my arrows are going. It is a known quantity how that functions now. So, knowledge is power. There we go. I don't even remember where to get, like, I think there's a bigger shield or a magic shield or something. There's another shield. There's at least one more kind of armor. Woo! Moving right along. Ouch, ouch, ouch. No hearts. Okay. I think 35 arrows should be enough. You have 35 arrows with which to beat the boss. And if I have laser swords, when I get there, all the better. Whoop. Binary Solo Games followed. Thanks for the follow. Look at those graphics. That's right. Yeah, I started, a lot of my early streams was Quake stuff, since that was the first kind of community that I had something worth sharing for, so well, I guess the graphics are Doom themed, but Quake, Doom, you know, it's all in the same id Software 90s shooter family. Guess there's more catching up to Seth work to be done this week for the stream. Yeah. You gotta get some sweet follow actions on your channel there. Yeah. I was gonna tell the Retro Shark here a little about your stream just now. I guess I'll tell everybody else. But he's at work, but not listening to audio, so he won't hear us. But Binary Solo Games is co-developing Hisato no Sako with me, and which is our Game Boy-like retro adventure, kind of light RPG game about an old man that is guarding his village gate at night because it is a time of war and all the young people are away fighting. So, old man Hisato, which is a little redundant to say because the name Hisato means old one or elder one, something like that. Hisato no Saku means old man's wall. I had to get a lot of help from native Japanese speakers to make sure that I was saying that correctly, and also using the proper characters to describe it. But yeah, that's a game that we're making. And Binary Solo Games streams on Fridays. Usually coding. Every once in a while I do pixel art on live on stream there for the game. So we have a good time making cool things happen. I guess that's also something that would be like useful to advertise on my page here, but I haven't like really done like the linking the socials or self-promotion stuff yet. I'm still figuring out how to be a streamer. It's an arcane science, and I do not claim to be any kind of an expert at it yet. Yes. Safe strategies. Chop through the blocks. This is my big lesson that I have learned on The Legend of Zelda today. Chop through the blocks at these dudes. You can't do it from the top because the sprite placement isn't the same. But from the bottom you can chop through the block and it bypasses the directional check that normally would prevent you from attacking them from the front. So hacks. Easy mode engaged, that's right. Look at that, look at that. Totally ignores the shield. Come on. Yes! I don't think I got hit by them at all. I'm gonna go ahead and make a save state. Because I want to defeat this boss, and as I stated earlier, my pride is not worth fussing about whether or not I just used a save state to run this boss a couple times. Dang it! I hate that room right there. What if these ROM hacks added achievements? There's only one way to find out, and I think that way is to get into ROM hacking and make some. Okay, I guess I have to hit the actual... Dang it! Dang it! Stop it! And this is why... Save states. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw that. Oh, look! Look, we're right here. Look. Nothing happened. Ugh. I hate this room. hate this room. Hate it. It would be easier if I had my laser swords, but I'm not that healthy. Huh. Oh, he goes faster too. Dang it. I was gonna say I cannot be out of bullets. I saved up my rupees specifically so that I had enough to get through these. Dang it. Dang it. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna save state right here. Because I can. Because I can. There we go. We did it. First time. First time. We got it first time, right? Everybody saw that. Everybody saw that. Triforce. Yes. I'm amazing at games. I'm amazing at games. Okay. Switching back to Boomerang. Dang it. Okay, I don't know which dungeon is meant to be the fourth dungeon. Ooh, thank goodness for all the hearts in that scuffle. Oh, that's right, and I got another heart container. I'm getting so healthy. I'm getting so healthy. Woo! That feels kind of good. Okay, so I know I got the bridge, and I feel like the next place that's nearby, that, or not the bridge, what is it? A raft. It's a raft. Yeah, over there. I'm betting that one is the fourth dungeon. So we'll go take a look. Alright, new dungeon. Don't know what I'm doing. We'll go left. Okay. There's nothing in here. Unless there's a secret. Like one of those bomb things. I don't remember. Bomb walls are probably not marked with like cracks or something in this original game. They're probably just secrets. Huh. Oh, did it just turn into a bat? It did. I don't remember these. Oh, 2 bats. Okay, just checking. I have 2 keys? Why do I have 2 keys? I didn't get keys, did I? Whatever. I'll go through in the dark. Who cares? Come on. Come on. Yes. Okay. I need to go get a lantern. I'm pretty sure there's an item somewhere that is a lamp. We'll just go look at this first shop. I don't remember what its prices are. 60. Alright. We'll do a little rupee run and get a lamp. Go for the spider screens. I want to know, like, why spiders have all these rupees. Are they like the business moguls of Hyrule? I want a canon explanation for spiders being wealthy in this universe. Something webs. They got connections, right? They're the best at networking. Is that too much? What level can we take dad jokes to? How loose can we make how loose can we make our puns today? Oh god. Nothing is more just getting that magic clock on the last enemy of a screen is seriously like a pet peeve. Oh look, we almost got enough rupees to buy the whatchamacallit? The lantern. Oops. Ouch. Okay. I came up with an even better dad pun. Spiders are so wealthy and well-to-do in Hyrule because they're really big on the web. Okay, this shop doesn't have this shop doesn't have the lamp. So we'll head back. I think that first shop is overpriced on some other items, but I don't remember where else the lamp is right now, and I can afford the convenience factor. Yes. 60 rupees. Really big on the web. Puns are great because they stick with you, you know? I'm not worried. The dad police are too lazy to come for me. They're busy telling dad jokes in their own living rooms. I feel, you know, the law is only the law if it's enforceable. Which means that this is a pun-positive channel. We support puns here. I'm gonna go for it. Okay, lampity lamp. Okay. I don't know how to use the lamp. I guess I have to activate it when I'm in there and like click on it. I don't know. Let's go find out. Do you know how to play Zelda, Chad? I don't know if I know how to play Zelda. Kinda, yeah. I am also in the kinda camp of Zelda playing. I know the dungeon near you with the lamp. Okay. Let's see if there's still enemies in here. There probably are. Okay, but we'll try this. Woo! Oh, yes. Alright, it lets out a big fire. Nice. That lamp is fire. Get out of here, bat. Get out. Okay. I don't know if that did anything, but killing those guys was fun, and we learned how to use the lamp. Alright, we'll move on. Killing those guys didn't do anything that I'm aware of. Ooh, a key. I will take it. Huh. I guess always push the blocks. I feel like because there's one block in the game that you can push, you have to check all of them just to make sure. Oh. Huh. So, you weren't here for intro. I was trying to get actual Nintendo hooked up. Went and got one out of storage at Mom's house. Because I just, you know, oh, you can burn things with it too. But maybe only once? Like you can't light the room if it's already been lit? I don't know. But yeah, I was trying to get an actual Nintendo hooked up, and I was looking at like capture cards and stuff. And I was even about ready to like order some equipment just to give that a whirl. And then I was like, I should probably test the Nintendo to see if it still works. It is not in working order quite yet. I gotta clean it up and see if it can be revived. It may just be dirty, but I couldn't get a clear signal out of it. And I don't know if that's because the video output connectors are bad or wonky, or if it's because the connector for the cartridge is wonky and that's not providing a clear connection. But whatever the case, it needs some love. So instead of capture cards and all that stuff being prematurely ordered, I ordered a set of console security screwdrivers and bits so that I can open the thing up and try to clean it or whatever. I got so many keys. I have so many keys. I don't know where I got all these keys from. You can fix my old PS3 next. I've never been a PlayStation owner. I don't think I'm qualified. I've only, up to this point, owned a couple of consoles. The original Nintendo, which is the late model revision, the top loader, which I have in the room, along with my meager cartridge collection. Dang it. Lost my laser swords. Dang it. So, original Nintendo. The Nintendo Wii. And a Game Boy. And a DS Lite. Ooh! Vagrant Story. That is, I know what that is. I would like to play Vagrant Story. Oops! No! Get out! I don't want to be hugged. Bad hugs. Those are bad hugs. You dungeon monster. Dang it! I don't want the bad dungeon hugs. Dang it. Alright, what am I even doing? Aha! See? Pushable blocks. Woo! Is this a ladder? What do I do with the ladder? Is there like a high shelf that Link cannot reach without this ladder? I honestly... Oh. It looks like a bridge. Okay, but it only can go one square. Yeah. Why can I not use the raft in here? That would be useful to know. Okay, well there is another room somewhere that... Oh, nice. Shortcuts are totally awesome. Except that I'm getting stuck off the path there. I can get the flower off the top shelf. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, cool. So we can go across here. I still have a key. Thank goodness. And I have 2 more doors I can explore. This goes over here. Oh, dang it. I keep reflexively trying to boomerang even when I don't have the boomerang equipped. Ah, there we go. Being able to see the map layout is super nice. Okay. We're on our way. Okay. Moving right along. Oh! We have, Crazy Boss Part 2. Ouch. It's like they knew I was gonna cheat and they're like, hold on, we're gonna give you another one just to make... Dang it. Can I use bombs? Oh well. Okay, quick break. It's starting to get intense with mini bosses. I'm gonna go refill beverage. I'm gonna think about what I did wrong, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, I am back. Went down to get some water. Kind of done with coffee for the morning. Don't want to get the jitters. And while I was down there, family had some mac and cheese with tuna. So I scarfed that down real quick. Whew. Whew. Yeah, gotta breathe. Running up and down the stairs at my age, I tell you what. Okay, so we figured out the lamps. We've got the same boss we just beat as a mini boss in the next dungeon that I went to. I don't know the names of these bosses. So I think it's safe to say that I'm going to need some arrows, but because of the speed that thing goes at, I kind of feel like bombs is maybe the way to go. Or a combination of the two. I don't know. I'm actually going to pause the game real quick because I want to look at some of my Nintendo stuff real quick, just since we were talking about that. So, I got my box of cartridges right here. Not a huge collection, but it has some notable things. It's got the classic Mario Duck Hunt cartridge. We have kind of an I don't know. I kind of wish this was a cult classic. I never hear anything about this game. Actually, super fun. Ooh, I just realized that my camera's flipped. I'm looking at the text there, and clearly my camera is mirrored. I think I did that so that I'm kind of like looking at the television. But anyway, this is Snoopy's Silly Sports Spectacular, and we played the heck out of this. Not because we cared about Snoopy or anything, but because these sporting events in this game are hilarious. If I ever get my my Nintendo playable situation hooked up, I'll go through these at some point. I only bought a couple of these games. I think I got a bunch of them from a friend when he was moved on to like Nintendo 64. He just gave me all the carts he didn't want. We have a second copy of Mario Duck Hunt. Clearly we were getting people's leftovers. Bases loaded 4. Little baseball action there. Ooh. Let's see here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. As well as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. Now, see, and this is funny. This is like original all red masks look. And this one is clearly the cartoon edition where they have all different colors. This one is weird because you never really get game over. You can just keep playing it. Guerrilla War. Or just... No, yeah, it is Guerrilla War by SNK. Oh, that's funny. I'm not using green screen today, but I still have the the filter on. So we can see Mist Island back there because of the green on this text. That's funny. Classic Golf. Apparently, I guess I didn't play this much, but we do have a copy of Tetris here. I remember playing Tetris more on the Game Boy, so I didn't really have any memories of playing it on Nintendo very much. Let's see, yeah, Turtles, Really War, Golf, blah, 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 blah. One of the few games managed to beat Track and Field 2. This game has a password system. There's like horse, My worst enemy. Horse? There's no horse in this game. Is there a horse on a different game? Or are you talking about this one? Anyway, I think that's one of the racer names. Oh. My memory is not that detailed. I remember loving the heck out of archery in this game, though. Like, figuring out how hard to pull the bow and how to compensate for wind. I found that extremely satisfying. I also remember there's a little two-player versus mode that's just exhibition games. That's not part of the main like sports campaign. And the three events were like karate. There's one I don't remember, and then there's arm wrestling, which is literally just like mashing the B button as hard as you can, and you have to be going a certain mash rate above your opponent, and it's literally just a test of will to see who can mash the longest. And I remember laughing so hard trying to play that game that we were just reduced to tears, like this guy that was a roommate before college. We just we got laughing so hard that we could only mash like this fast, like about one button press per second, because we're almost falling on the floor trying to keep up with that. But I still have passwords for this game. They're written on. We have a couple manuals left. This is the Dr. Mario booklet, and I don't know if you can see the pencil marks and pen marks, but these are all passwords for track and field too, because oh god, 8th day. I forgot there were 8 days. You have to go through all like 20 events of this 8 times with exhibition events like hang gliding or whatever in between each day. Also, I was thinking of this redirect notice. Okay, eBay, Titan Gaming. Oh, that's just who's selling it. How do I gotta view the image so I can zoom in? Okay, world class track meet on a triple game cartridge. I've never played world class track meet. That sounds exciting. So there's a runner named... Oh, it used the power pad. Okay, I have played that, but only at someone else's house because I didn't have a power pad. I could not figure... Like, mentally, I could not figure out the power pad as a kid. Like, I remember being on it and just feeling totally inept. Like, I couldn't keep up with the AI or whatever. Yes. Yes. And I remember seeing other people, like, they figured out, like, it's not just about speed, there's, like, a pattern and timing involved. And whether they use their hands or their feet, they would just, like, fly past me if we did a head-to-head running thing. Man, Nintendo been innovating since the beginning, right? Just trying all kinds of crazy things. It's still kind of impressive, all the weird stuff. We got Excite Bike in here. I remember that was cool, not just because it was a dirt bike game or whatever, it was fun to ride around on, but because it has a level builder in it. I think they preserved that in the re-release. I don't remember. They made an update to it for the Wii, not Virtual Console, but just like a downloadable Wii, small Wii title. They released Excite Bike with internet play, so you could just like say, I want a game, and it would like pop the next person into play. I do have looks like a second-hand copy of the gold cartridge Zelda. Somebody named MJ owned this before me. It's pretty beat up too. Like it's gouged and scraped, but it's still so shiny. Speaking of gold plastic, we have the gold shiny Game Genie here too for all the cheating goodness. I don't think I have the Game Genie manual anymore with the cheat codes in it. That booklet seems to have disappeared. But I got Dr. Mario. Top loader NES came with Dr. Mario instead of Super Mario Brothers. Probably because they just wanted to ship more units of it. We have one of my personal favorites, Dragon Warrior. And as fate would have it, still have the slightly beat up instruction booklet for that. Yep. Tetris I already showed. Star Tropics. Oh, here's another one that the chroma key is totally messing up. Just imagine lots of islandy greenery. I guess you can see an island through the chroma key. Just a different one. Anyway, Star Tropics was super hard and a lot of fun. Hogan's Alley was a shooter gun game, a light gun game. It's like has 3 different modes, like an actual shooting gallery looking setup. But it had this one that like scrolled through a city, and it was still just I think it was just like spinny targets, like not you're shooting real people or whatever, but it was in a city background, and I think at like birthday parties around junior high or whatever, just taking turns having runs on this game was super fun with friends. And last but not least, we got that Final Fantasy. And in addition to having the game, I've still got the literature that comes with it. That thick booklet that tells you how to play through fully half the game, which was super helpful because I didn't know what I was doing. Even though I played Dragon Warrior, we've got the map poster and enemy reference. This thing is so beat up. And then Tecmo Cup soccer game. Have we talked about that? I feel like we talked about that game at some point. Anyway, dungeon maps and item and magic reference. It's a soccer RPG. Yeah, we did talk about that. That sounds totally awesome. And I do want to play that game. Anyway, that's the whole Nintendo collection. I do have a Nintendo Zapper over here, so if I got a CRT at some point, maybe a small one to put on the desk over here, I could play light gun games. Now to the Virtual Boy collection. I've only ever briefly looked at a Virtual Boy when they had one set up in Target. And there were only, a couple of games ever made for that system in total, or something. I don't remember how many, but I only ever remember hearing of a couple Virtual Boy games. Man, what a weird artifact of history. Like early 3D illusion experiment. And it was weird and hard to play. I think ultimately they either didn't make the platform friendly enough for developers to make good stuff, or just no one cared and wanted to develop for us, so they didn't get good games. Nintendo should make a VR experience for it. Now that's an idea. A VR experience for Virtual Boy so that they could bring it back would be super fun. Yeah, super low grade, kind of hard to make anything interesting. Yeah, I believe it. Bringing it back, I mean, I don't know if the 3DS is already obsolete. I guess it kind of is. Switch feels like it is both the home and the mobile console right now. I don't know. Are they still selling 3DS stuff? I don't know. But yeah, a VR or one of their 3D panel viewing things, if they're still messing around with that, would be fun. I don't know. Part of me wonders if there's a homebrew scene or a, like something like that for Virtual Boy. I don't know. Maybe no one cares. Maybe it's just an amusing artifact of history. Ah. So, the other thing I want to do, even if I can't go around and buy a bunch of cartridges or whatever, is just get the EverDrive, both for kind of game playing purposes and potential development attempts later on, so that it's if I've got a working Nintendo, I can like play these ROM hacks with the updated graphics on actual hardware and stuff like that. Uh, all kinds of things I want to get into, and that not only do I want to get into them, but like paying off debt recently feels so liberating because there's like room for a little discretionary spending. It's been so long since I've been able to do such things. They make a Game Boy thing like that too, right? Um, yes. Yeah, EverDrives are available for a ton of systems. Let me see real quick. I remapped my hotkeys, so I got to try and remember which ones do what. Uh, okay, browser. We'll open up a browser here, and we'll have a look. EverDrive store, the Mega EverDrive Pro. So yeah, there's like two versions of two or more versions. This one's for Mega Drive. This is the second revision of the NES one, the EverDrive N8 Pro. EverDrive 64 X Series. That's the X7. Uh, and I think a lot of them use like odd numbers for revisions, 357, whatever. So they've got an N64. The FX Pack Pro is Famicom. EverDrive GB X7, X5 Mini for the Game Boy Advance. Master EverDrive, so Sega Master System. Is that like the um, yeah, yeah, one of the Sega things. Is that the first one? Master System? I don't know. I didn't have Sega consoles either. EverDrive GG X7. Oh, Game Gear. So they've got a Game Gear one. They got a controller on here. Master System was pre-Genesis, not released in the US. Okay, so like an 8-bit early Sega console. Cool, cool. So here's the previous version of the EverDrive 64. Yeah, that one's must be the updated one. Um, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, X3, X5, X7. So there's three different Game Boy ones, and these are like different amounts of storage, different features. Can you plug it in a USB, stuff like that. Um, Whether or not you have, like a menu system that's elaborate, I don't know. Mega EverDrive, Mega, Mega, Mega. So 3 megas. Um, the revision 1 of the NES, revision 1 of the Famicom. Turbo Graphics, they got one for Turbo Graphics. And Flash Kit Programmer, I don't even know what that is. But suffice it to say, they got a bunch. They got a bunch of these things. And I am going to grab, I don't think I'm going to get the red shell. Probably just a gray shell, but I'm going to get the N8 Pro sometime. I'm forcing myself to wait until my Nintendo actually works so that I have one. Is the color just a vanity thing? Yeah, they just have a couple that are different colors. And mainly, I'm gonna get the gray one because that's the one that's available on Amazon. It's actually a little bit cheaper to order it from. I think it's in Poland or somewhere. There's a website where ship it direct instead of send it to Amazon or whatever. It's, like $20 cheaper, maybe a little more. And they have the grays and the reds. I do not see any blues. That might, yeah, I don't know. That looks like it's different somehow. I don't know what's up with the blue one. I love blue. I would get blue just for fun, but yeah, I'm gonna end up getting the gray one because that's what's available on Amazon. Um, yeah, but there's a bunch of people, a bunch. There's a select handful of people on Twitter that I've either following or one guy was a client from last year that I did some pixel art for that are actively developing for Nintendo and doing some pretty cool stuff. One guy is um, doing kind of simple things. He made a Tetris-like game called From Below, which is Tetris, but there's a kraken at the bottom that like pokes the blocks up sometimes and like messes up your configuration. Um, Anyway, that's a cool one. He's now doing like a kind of a puzzle platformer. There's no jumping. It's just like a navigation game where you got to kind of figure out what order to go through the level to collect all the things without getting trapped. Um, he's got a little bit of information out about that, some screenshots and GIFs and whatever. That one's called Witch and Whiz. And there's a whole team of people making some really impressive stuff, actually coming up with new memory mappers or whatever mappers are for the Nintendo, new layouts, new. There's even some screenshots where they're supporting different sprite sizes. Somehow this all works on original hardware. Somehow, I don't, I guess yet understand how many liberties a developer can take just in the cartridge design, um, or the ROM layout. Uh, there's one who has a custom cart. Uh, yeah, there's one project that is part of a select group of people with beta versions of a Wi-Fi enabled NES cart where they're making wirelessly connected multiplayer games and other similar things. I had some ideas for that, and I feel like if I pressed a little bit, I could get in touch with those people and say, "Hey, can I get in on a beta edition?" I don't know if they're somewhere in France or where these people are located, but I did get into a Discord for one of those projects where the developer is one of the people that had those. Those are not commercially available yet. I did a little like first round of asking questions. Um, I think they did an event in Austin. I think I know a guy who knows a guy. Yeah, yeah, and it seems like people are pretty open in Discords and are happy to like talk about what they're doing and how they got what they got, and um, so it does seem easier to like find people today since everyone's home on the internet. Just like people want to connect all over, just because we can't go out and do these things anymore. But yeah, knowing a guy is always fun. But I'm just excited because it seems like and there's another thing I just saw where people are doing some kind of bank switching magic. I retweeted this just earlier. Um, check out this. So it says this is Something Nerdy Studios. They're doing NES development. Our bank switching tech allows for multiple different background animation speeds in the same frame. Enjoy the waves lapping lazy against the sand while the grass blows around more excitedly. The name of this action RPG for the NES will be revealed very soon. I'm going to try and zoom in here so that this is visible on stream. Look at them waves. Look at them little bits of grass waving around. I don't know. It's just cool. I don't think I've seen this particular effect done this way, and whatever magic they're coming up with, it's just using the same old tech, right? Those do look convincingly wavy. Yes, they do. They look super cool. I feel like there is a really quiet, like, silver age of NES development about to dawn because everybody's home figuring out what to do with their quarantine time. and Nintendo is getting some love in this process. Um, there's another one sometime recently that I saw, which was, um, and maybe it's the same people. Let me browse their timeline. Somebody was coming up with a new, yeah, here it is. Here it is. MXM0, a new mapper standard that they apparently come up with, provide 8x1 attribute mode. Artists can pick a new palette for every 8 pixel wide, 1 pixel tall strip. This was theoretical for years, and now it is a reality. No sprites are used here. This is what the NES can look like. I don't know. It's not groundbreaking in the sense of the larger game industry, but in terms of Nintendo development, this is fantastic. See replies for real hardware demo. Yes, in all 8 directions, every frame with no glitches. Close to what are? Can you scroll? Close to 0% because the bank switching is automatic in the mapper logic. What's the processor load? Can the game actually run with this in background? Yes, our entire game could be designed with 8x1 attributes. This is cool, but why did no NES games look like this if it was possible? Would your cart have been too expensive to produce back then or something? Is your cart doing a bunch of modern processing on the board or what? Thank you. The short answer is they could have done this, but didn't have a CD-ROM or hard drive expansion for the system that would have made it worth doing. MXM0 shines when given lots of data. There is no coprocessor on the board. We just employ bank switching to its maximum. I'm not sure I understand this comment yet. Maybe I don't understand what MXM0. Are you going to ship the game with CD-ROM? To do that, we would first have to engineer a CD-ROM drive for the NES. Given that other companies probably wouldn't develop games for that, it's not in our interest to do so, even though we could. Doing everything on large cartridges is more economically feasible today. Okay, so they're saying they're using some kind of CD-ROM to feed data into the cartridge memory. But you could also just put a lot of memory in it. Okay, I think he's saying that the amount of data you need to store on the card itself would be too big. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, so anyway, all this is just adding up to a situation where people are messing around and having a good time and actually making new games. Okay, that's not on my... Those comments are not on my stuff, so I don't have to answer them. Anyway, yeah, so I'm getting a little excited. And I know enough people to ask questions, and I know which Discords developers are hanging out in. And for all of the like premier examples of really polished stuff, there's like dozens, if not, more people just making homebrew stuff just for fun on the hobbyist level behind the scenes that probably have a great working knowledge of these systems. And even though I spent all this time developing some software that would give a similar, look and feel to the Nintendo and Game Boy and whatnot, just in Windows software or whatever. There's something very enticing about developing for established hardware like this. So that's fun stuff. And I'm pretty sure the game Witch and Whiz, the puzzle, yes, The Boy Who Stole the Sun for NES. Believe me, that thought has been crossing my mind. I mean, I don't think anybody else is in the chat, but in case anybody watches this later, The Boy Who Stole the Sun is an NES-like adventure game. Same perspective as like Zelda here, but not quite the same emphasis on combat, more an exploration survival game. That project got shelved ultimately because it was just, even with cutting down the scope, it was too ambitious for me to like pull off alone in just a never-ending grind. It's got a lot of assets and fun stuff, but I could repurpose that and port it over to the NES without much issue. I mean, it's designed for this kind of display technology, so who knows? We get Hisato done. There's all kinds of possibilities open up, you know? Could be fun. Could be fun. It's also possible that developing it for the NES would naturally, you know, constrain the amount of shenanigans I could get up to code-wise, you know? Just because there's not that much room to mess around. You got to code gameplay. If you're going to put a story in there, you got to have just clear text boxes and make it easy to read. You know, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. So I imagine it might cut down the number of frames that I could support for animations. I'd have to simplify some things perhaps, but that would all be positive in the end, I think. We shall see. We shall see. Whew. Well, that was a good break. We'll run around a little bit more today. Link needs to stretch his legs. They're making it through that last dungeon. I also need to go around and find like where the other shops are and see if there's items that I don't have yet, or like where to get the next. I mean, it might be a long time, but where to? I don't know where the next armor is. That's just arrows and bombs to shield. I don't need any of that stuff. I already got arrows. Until we get to silver arrows anyway. Oops. Dang it. Don't die. Woo! Okay, I already bought this blue armor. There's extra keys here. I don't remember what this meat is for, I guess, attracting creatures. Maybe to get them away from you. I gotta go to the fairy pond. Get refilled here. Whew. The other thing about, you know, like, physical Game Boy and Nintendo projects is that it's got that nostalgia power to a greater degree than something that just generally evokes, you know, like if you're doing like a Kickstarter or something. Oh, I forgot that I can get health potions. That seems really handy for boss battles. I forgot about that. But yeah, like, I'm not really zealous of doing a Kickstarter project just because, in general, I don't want to do physical fulfillment for stuff on top of making the game itself, which is hard enough. But in the case of Nintendo and Game Boy games, doing a Kickstarter is sort of digital deliver a ROM. Yes, well, see, in this case, even a ROM feels like pretty legit as that basic level, and your only other level is like that's mandatory anyway, is the cart, which in this case is not an extra, but just like the deluxe, collector's edition of the game. It's the game itself. It's just a pre-order for the deluxe version. So it's like having a retail copy of the game without dealing with Walmart, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like that's legitimately tempting, and it's something that's already been proven, especially if you develop the game already and you just be like, hey, we made this, and you can kickstart this project, which is just to help fund making it physical. Yeah, pretty sexy of them. That's potential amount of Kickstarter at that level. Yeah. Yeah. And, if you're doing a modest, limited edition run of something, and people are into it, it's totally possible to succeed. And, if you end up getting, more support than you want, that's a bonus, Maybe more things to ship out, but it's just, it makes more sense than almost every other kind of Kickstarter, at least from the perspective of doing a lot of like attempts at solo development. If we have, if somebody's got like a 4 or 5 person team, a 20 person team, or like some of these companies, a company that's been producing games for decades, and they're just kickstarting because they want to do a particular game idea that don't expect to get funding from corporate investors or whatever, and they're kickstarting to do like a fan favorite kind of a concept, like that makes sense. But if I'm just one person, I don't want to spend all my time putting stuff in the mail unless it's the game itself. That's kind of like my thought process. That's what it comes down to. If it represents the game, that's fine. I can get down with that. I don't know what my goal is right now. I guess I should save up and buy a health potion, because that will help me get past mini bosses. Because I don't know how to fight that thing without getting hit a whole lot. I don't even know what that boss is called. The one with the 4 heads that shoots lots of shooty shoots. Oh, I guess also my sub goal was running around looking for shops where I can purchase other wonderful things. And this was the... Okay, so I can buy a blue potion, like a mid potion for 40, or a full potion. I feel like I should look up what these things actually do. Legend of Zelda blue potion. Many to all of Link's hearts, restoring his magic when present. Furthermore, the potion is, I guess that's general knowledge for all versions. The blue could be purchased after receiving a letter. Once the letters, the blue and red water of life will become available, costing 40 and 68 rupees. Unlike later versions that could replenish, but it was merely a one-time use health potion due to magic not existing in the game. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Blue medicine, blue elixir, and other. As a health restore only. Yeah, it doesn't say how much it restores. But I feel like we may be at a point where the blue is enough. I will buy it. I will buy it. One-time use health potion. Come on. There we go. Whew. Yeah. Go around here again. Maybe we'll take another run at this. Maybe we'll get frisky and use a save state again. I feel like this is doable. This dungeon. Dang it. Ugh. Okay. Oh yes. We need the light. Woo! I think the fact that I can set things on fire makes that lamp so much more cooler. More cooler? More cool. More cool. Oh my goodness. Okay. Lots of lamp lighting. Okay. Don't mess around. We go straight through. Hup, 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 hup. Okay. Yeah, this ladder or bridge thing is totally weird. Dang it. I'm gonna... Alright. That is no good. I wanted to use this afterward, but okay. Oh, am I out of rupees? Alright, we're gonna try the bombs. Woo! Bombs for the win! Should have been using bombs the whole time. Yep. I'm gonna save state. I do not want to fight that thing again. Walk into the waterfall. Thank you. Why do I not have a key? Okay, none of these things. Yeah, didn't think so. Okay. Apparently a limited amount of bombs, though. It's true. But I only used 2, and I have 6 more bombs. Oh yeah, I need to turn the lights on. Fire! Oh yeah, I remember this room. This is where I got the map. I think. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure I got all these other rooms. And if I did get all these other rooms, that means that I need to ouch. Need to go buy a key, I guess, to finish this dungeon. Okay. I don't remember whether I got over here or not. But we better check it out just in case. Okay, yeah. We did, I remember. This was the room of bad dungeon hugs. Which are still bad. And I still don't like them. Ouch. No, no. Alright. I'm probably not... There probably was a key in here or something. Yeah. Oh! I already did this too. Yeah, there's nothing in here. This was the ladder or the bridge. Okay, so I just have to buy a key because that little advice room has a locked door that goes, presumably, to the end. So those guys cannot walk on the bridge, so that's nice. Okay. Learning how to play video games. So much fun. Okay. In the dark, but that's okay. This... I don't remember where I can go. Probably gonna die. I have 1/4 of a heart left. Okay, let's see if we can make it to a fairy pond. Oops, not quite. There was a heart there. I could have grabbed it. That's alright. Whew. Alright, I'm gonna go on another rupee run. I need to buy a key. And I need to buy, you know, if I want to help myself out, make it easier, I need to buy another potion. But we'll emphasize the key purchase so that at least we can get the door open in the proper place. Whew. Looking away from the screen. Whatever, we can just refill. I feel like I'm going to be able to move that rock later. It looks conspicuous. Conspicuous rock. Okay. Let's see. I guess I can go over here because there's spiders. We'll do some rupee grinding. Come on, laser sword. Need to get my heart back. We'll do a round or two of hitting the spider screens. Good. Yay, laser swords. Now, there's no other Zelda game that I know of where he just straight up shoots a laser sword. He gets like the special sword swinging moves to charge up power move. But I don't think. I think this is the only one where he gets shoot laser swords. Okay, we took some hits. We'll get our laser sword back soon enough. Whatever. Oh, full health. There we go. Laser sword for the win. Ouch. Yay. I think the Game Boy one too has a sword that does it at oh, Link's Awakening? OG Link's Awakening? That may be. That may be. That format, you know, is kind of the same as this one. What am I looking for? Oh yeah. I'm gonna go look at other secret passageways because I don't remember what they contain. Go this way. Go this way. I'll go ahead and take a minute to clear this screen of dudes. And then get that guy out of the way. I wanted to see what's in here, because I don't remember. There is nobody home. Maybe that was just one of those one-time bonus rooms where you just get some rupees. Okay, so where is the waterfall and how do I get behind it? Is it over here somewhere? That doesn't look like waterfall. Where's the waterfall? Waterfall is up here in a different area, maybe. Let's go up here, see what we got. Is this one of those puzzly areas? I feel like this is one of those. Yeah. Yeah, not actually going anywhere. Oh, okay, so we can go this way. Woo, those guys shoot swords. It's a good thing I got some armor on now. Oh! You can have it? Can I? Yes! Okay, I'll take it. Sweet. Upgraded sword. I'm totally down with that. Okay. I guess you have to have like blue armor to get blue sword. Alright, and then yes, okay. Pay me and I'll talk. Why not? We'll pay premium. Go up the mountain ahead. Okay. The little Scottish doggy many times. Wait, is that a Link's Awakening reference or something in this game? This ain't enough to talk. Okay, well we got okay, let's go back to the other screen and go up and see what we get. On this lake screen? Oh, the Scottish doggy? I thought they were like centaurs or something. There is one more sword. Up. Oh! This is a dungeon. Why not? Let's explore another dungeon. I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. Oh, it does say level 5. So this is one ahead of. Yeah, I guess the sword upgrade is super handy because those guys take too many hits. They don't respond to the boomerang. Ouch. Touching them is super bad. Yeah, I'm not ready. Not ready for this dungeon. The Scottish doggy. I don't know if you were talking about the same character that I fought on the lake screen. It's like, I don't know, I always pictured them as centaurs. Let me see here. I'm going to pull up Legend of Zelda game manual. And loading viewer. Blue potion. Okay, this is obviously not showing the right screen. There we go. Game manual. Yeah, I don't know what that enemy is called. Zol and Gel, rope. Vire and Keys, Stalfos, Wall Monster, Gorilla, Wizrobe, Darknut, Pole's Voice. That's the dudes I was just running into. Manhandla is this four-headed crazy beast. Where's... Okay, like are the hug things. The Gibdo is a mummy. Digdogger, Petra, Goma, Gleok, head of Gleok. We have to fight his head, where he shoots his head at you, something like that. Trapson. Doesn't say, it doesn't have all the dudes. Vire and Keys. Those are the dragons that get chopped down into bats. Well, whatever. Let's just search Legend of Zelda enemies. Yeah, okay, so those look like Scouty dogs with swords. I always thought they were centaurs. It's the blue guy who has like swords on his face. Enemies in the Legend of Zelda. Okay, so Blue Lionel. Is that what we're talking about? Blue Lionel right there, the second dude? Yeah. I don't know why the name Lionel or what that means. But I interpret it as just a really squished upper body with like two swords. Jabby swords. I like not from the front view, but from the side view, I get the Scotty dog kind of reference. I think the way it moved helped sell it. Yes. The animation is a little funny. Okay, but I did get a new sword, half lion, half horse. But I thought horse was the guy from the racing game. World Runner, Track Runner, NES. He's everywhere. He knows. It's a rivalry. He mated with... Horse mated with lion. Fastest runner. And now also has lion teeth and... and swords. Swords and tiny arms, or just swords on his face. We're not completely sure. Wait, where am I going? I need to go the other way. Take that. I really like the sound design in these games. Like the... Oh, I didn't buy a key yet either. Okay, so I can't run here. I was wanting to go show off my sword skills in this dungeon, but I need to save up for it. Drats, no lion in that game. Pausing real quick. No lion in that game. Turtle, bear, horse, rabbit, bobcat, and cheetah. Those are the runner names? Those are the runner names? What a funny lineup. That makes it sound like running is like kung fu styles. I run horse style. That is nothing compared to my bear style running. Obviously cheetah is the top runner, right? Oh, difficulty levels. Oh, yeah, okay. Turtle, bear, yeah, okay. That does make sense. Yeah. It wouldn't be quite as good a conveyance if it was like Steve level difficulty. Like, everybody knows what Steve level difficulty is. Runner Steve. Randall. Randall! Alright, we gotta have some like mid-boss in some game actually named Randall, so we can make good on this tension I feel about Randall. I feel like it's a legit thing. Oh, what am I saving up for? A key! I need a key. Okay. I guess we gotta go back to spiders and save up some rupees. I don't know why I think it's hilarious, but that is always my home base name in Sweetoken. I'll be waiting back in Randy's castle. Wait, Sweetoken? Should I know what that is? I recognize the name, but I don't. Sweetoken. Role-playing video game. PlayStation. Yeah, that would be why I don't know what it is. You can get 108 characters each iteration. You mean like playable characters? Like for your party, each one you collect will wait in the castle somewhere. Wow. I'll be waiting back in... So is there a character named Randy in that game? Or you just name your character Randy so that they say, I'll be waiting in Randy's castle? Is that one that lets you put in names for... Oh, and no, my character name was something else. You get to name the castle specifically. Oh, and you named it Randy's Castle. Oh, no connection or sense. That's beautiful. Randy's Castle. I can dig it. 108 Stars of Destiny. The 108 protagonists who are loosely interpreted from the source material. I pulled up the Wikipedia. Doot, doot, doot. Okay. No connection or sense. Yeah. Alright. Okay. Those spiders did not want to give up money. We'll try the next spiders over. See if we can get their funding. Mig, thanks for dropping in. How you doing today? What are you up to? Oop. Trying to look at two screens at once. There we go. Laser swords. Excellent. Doing game development. Are you doing the art part of game development? Are you coding something? What you got going on? What game are you allowed to say? Is it secret? Is it safe? I am going the wrong way. Come on, Link. Code and art. Making a side project about cleaning teeth. I have a feeling that that is going to be hilarious and fun. Especially the way that you've been doing art lately. I feel like there's going to be some delightfully cringeworthy teeth imagery in this game. Is that a safe assumption? I feel like there's gonna be some snaggly teeth in desperate need of cleaning. Alright, I got a whole bunch of rupees. I can probably afford a key. We just got, let's just say Plaque's a hell of a cleanup job. Oh man, are you gonna be scraping Plaque in this game? Oh my goodness. Alright, no keys here. We'll go back to the level 1 shop and see if there's keys over there. I need to buy a key to get to the end of dungeon level 4. Yeah. I'm definitely taking the long way around to check these shops. Do we get treated to wonderful noir dentist lines like that throughout the game? Noir dentist lines. Oh yeah, okay. If it's noir, we have to say it with a different voice. Let's just say Plaque's a hell of a cleanup job. Existentially, we're all trying to get to the end of dungeon level 4 in deep quotes. Plaque never changes. I like this more already. I don't even know if this is actually part of the game. 100 for a key? That's highway robbery. I'll never pay such exorbitant rates. Alright, I gotta check this shop, see if they have keys at a more reasonable price. 100 though. No keys here. Looks like it's 100 rupees for a key. Dang. Dang. We gotta grind some more spider rupees. Dang it, ran right into that. Spider Circuit. So I tried last Friday streaming some Quake mapping with this scene layout, and I think it was a bad idea. I think I need a different scene layout for Quake mapping, and it's like this whole aesthetic was set up specifically for playing Nintendo games, and desktop map editing at widescreen. I gave it a shot just to see, but I had all these problems of like my hotkeys for the stream were mapped to keys that I use during map editing, and there's all kinds of accidental scene switching and stuff like that, and I think just a more full screen approach for that is going to work better. So if I end up doing like Friday night Quake mapping streams or something similar, and it is fun to share the mapping process on that stuff, so like, yeah, I'm just gonna have to do another round of scene layout shenanigans, which is fine. I don't mind doing that stuff, but just kind of that back to the drawing board feeling for part of the... And I think, you know, having a consistent look can be fun. But I'm just into different stuff, and they don't all look the same or have the same aspect ratio needs. So that will probably get switched up real quick. Oop. Laser swords. 71. I don't like the number 7 in this font. I think that's my second gripe with Zelda Deluxe. One is the palette selection for the... Well, this blue sword stands out a whole lot. The level 1 sword is almost the same color as this sand ground texture. So that's one gripe. Doesn't matter now that I'm blue, but that color confusion is one thing, and then the number 7 is just too round. I don't think the number 7 should be quite so round. It's like, just not quite right. Wow, you're so square. I am. What can I say? I'm old school. Not hip. The round 7s. Okay, I'll take the heart. 89. Need 11 more rupees. 11 more rupees. Oop. Nice. These guys are starting to give out some rupees. I'm okay with this. Okay with this. $106. Okay, now I can pay gosh darn 100 rupees for the dang old dungeon key that we need. I'm going the long way around again. Need to go down. Here we go. We go this way. This will be nice. Alright. Here it goes. Extortion. Complete. All right. Dungeon number 4. Whatever. I wanted to fire someone. Oh. whenever I'm not using the lamp. Going through the levels. Okay. Yay! Straight shot across, I like that. Oh, so even if... Oh, good, I don't have to beat that guy a second time. I like that. It's a nice feature. Walk into the waterfall. I did that. And we have 4 more rooms. Dang it. Okay. So I just go straight across. There we go. Alright. I feel like it's save state time. Bunch of crazy obstacles in the dark. Okay. Yeah, having fire to play with is nice. Got that boss sound happening nearby. What's this? I see. Alright. Two more rooms. Oh, okay. The other room is the Triforce room. Do I shoot? Ouch. Nope. Didn't like that. So I gotta stab him. Ouch. Gots to stab. Only stabbing. Did not buy a health potion. But that's okay. We're gonna load a save state. Oops. You know what? Let's just load it again. Alright, and then we switch to this thingy. And then we go here. And then, yeah, I guess we can... Ouch! I wanted to get more dudes and not take health damage like that. Here we go. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, there's one. There's one. Hit. Okay, boomerang, doesn't matter. Ouch. Ouch. Nobody saw that. We're loading. Ouch. Ow. Wow, that was worse than the first one. I can't remember. I don't think bombs did anything. No. Okay. I think I... Oh! I almost had a pattern. Almost had a pattern. Swipe, swipe, move, swipe, swipe, move. One, two, up. 1, 2, move. 1, 2, dang it. 1, 2, dang it. Okay. I'm gonna go 1, 2. Okay. Quarter of a heart left. Oh, that didn't It gave me a heart but didn't refill. The Triforce refills? Can't remember. Yes, Triforce refills. I could have not used save states, but that's okay. Seven hearts. Feeling healthy. I need to figure out where... I feel like I want to upgrade armor again, or get the, figure out where the strength bracelet is, or something like this. I need to go exploring again and see where things are. Ooh. Full on bombs. Dang it. Alright, what's in here? The shop. I feel like this is a juncture when I'm really looking for items and stuff where a little bit of walkthrough would be handy. Some strategy guide. Need some Nintendo power. I did download a collection of Nintendo Power PDFs. I haven't quite gone through them, I don't know. I don't know if there's a strategy guide for this, or there's probably a bunch of other places I could just look up an item map. Why don't I do that real quick? I want to find out where red armor and strength bracelet are. Or the red ring, I guess is the original. Legend of Zelda Red Ring. The Legend of Zelda. Take a quarter amount, yeah, that would be good. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. It's found within the final dungeon in the second quest. I'll replace the blue ring in both the first quest. Oh, in both the first. So red ring is in the final dungeon, level 9, regardless. So I don't need to worry about buying that. That's something to find. The strength bracelet. Power bracelet? Power bracelet. Northwestern region of Hyrule. Either destroying it or tricking it to move from on the top. Through the power bracelet, it is possible to push rocks on the overworld aside, revealing secrets. Does it do anything? Maybe that's just for moving stuff around. Legend of Zelda Power Bracelet. Okay. Just looking at a map, I'm guessing it's over here somewhere. It said Northwestern. This is not like a full resolution map. Legend of Zelda NES item map. This. Okay. Can I even get there? Okay, yeah, you go up around the lake, to the left and up, and there's power bracelet. Somewhere over yonder. Okay. I'm gonna go way over to the left. Let's see if we can get there. Ouch. Wow, there's a lot of knockback on getting hit with those fluttery things. Woo! The ladder, or the bridge, lets me walk across there. I definitely have not explored this area yet. Wow, those guys are fast. I'm gonna go hide in this hole real quick. Junk! I don't need any of that. Let's go over here. Some more dudes, maybe? Ouch. Woo! I just did it. I got it. Almost dead, but I got it. Sword face Scotty dogs everywhere. Oop. Woo! Great hanging, Seth Rotol. See you later. Thanks, Chad. We'll catch you later. Appreciate you hanging out. Oh my goodness. I think I got one more run around, and I kind of want to try out this. I guess they made it a power glove in this one instead of a power bracelet. I love the power glove. It's so bad. One more run before the final days. Is that a reference to something? I don't know that one. Or is it just epic language to give my Zelda-ness a sense of weight and significance? Just something epic. Okay. Alright, we're on the same page then. Woo! Yes. Secrets. Take any road you want. I want the middle road. Oh my goodness. What is this? Secret passageways? Oh, wow. Whoop. Take any road you want. Oh, did we already go that way? Oh, nice! Right in the middle of Spider Town. Fun! I don't understand the mapping between locations, but whatever. Dungeon level 5 was... Okay, I guess not this way. We need to go up. We need to go... We need to go somewhere else to get there. Need to go up and around. Ouch. Ouch. I don't know why I just got hit a bunch of times, but here we are. Ooh, I didn't go this way yet. Let's see what's up here. Nice. Rocks! Arrow. I'm just pushing all the rocks to see if I can push the rocks. Or somebody just put in a dead end and was like, no, you gotta go back. There's nothing here. It was irrelevant. Okay. Ah, rocks. Let's go the other way. Ouch. a door. Let's go through the door. And it's potion time. I could use a potion. I don't know if I have anything else to buy because I think the red armor and the third sword are the only things that I need equipment-wise. You know, aside from whatever other... dang it. Whatever other tools there are to get in the dungeons. Oh! Well, I think that's all the Zelda-ing I got in me for right now. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm still building up my steam. Yeah, building up my steam. Building up my streaming chops. It's about 3 hours. It feels like a long stretch for me right now. But it's a good time. Thanks for stopping in, Mig. Hope you have a fabulous day. I'll probably continue doing some retro goodness in the afternoons. Although I'm still trying to figure out like which day or like when during the week I might want to do a little bit of pixel art and or game development coding on stream. Chad, who's just in here, does some Hisato coding on Fridays. Sometimes I'm on his channel as a guest doing some pixel art there, but maybe on Thursday I'll do some Hisato over here, and then Friday can be on his channel. We can have a little 1-2 punch of Hisato development sharing on the Twitch. We'll see. I'll figure it out. Anyway, have a good one. Anybody who stopped by or catches this later on YouTube or in the VODs, thanks for watching. Have a good one, y'all. We'll see you later. Bye.